people around me are either an expanding force in the world or they're a constricting force. The people who are constricting, I try to avoid. So I assume that you're in an endeavor here to expand yourself and also the people and students around you, whatever that community is from day to day. So being an expansive force, what are some of the metaphors, the observations, the connections you can make between what you experience today and what can you carry forward in terms of attitudes, behaviors, and procedures?
When we started this exercise, people felt good about sharing their idea, and people were giving feedback, and that's how we got to the best ideas. Yeah. So speak up, let's share ideas. Don't think that there's a bad idea, but rather we'll get to the end together,
What's the biggest barrier that stands in the way of that concept? Why would I not speak up?
Fear. Fear.
Absolutely. It's the #1 emotion that we wrestle with. Fear is not a bad thing, but it is a bad thing if it cripples you. Just a short story. In 6th grade, I was fairly excited about school. I sat on day 1 in the front seat, and about 1 o'clock it was time for science class. The teacher said, open your books, and the first chapter was on oceanography. I come back on day 2, I sit right up in front, about 1 o'clock. He says, all right, time for a verbal test on chapter 2 in your science book. He tosses out a question, and I thought I had the right answer. I didn't think it through very well, and I shot my hand up and I spit out the wrong answer. Well, he looks at me real sternly. He picks back a piece of chalk from the chalkboard and bam, just throws it down, hits me real hard in the cheek. I mean, real hard. And he goes, wrong. Well, my eyes teared up. The class was laughing only for a short period of time until he picks up another piece of chalk and he goes, all right, throws it up in the air. Now, who's got the right answer to that question? Where did I sit on day 3? There was not a seat back far enough. And then the real tragedy, I'll tell you what, is about midway through that semester, I got a U in my report card on the midterm for unsatisfactory class participation. So back to your point, we've had the chalk thrown at us, some of us, far too many times. So when our manager or someone comes to us and says, you have any ideas, Chris? I go, nope, not a one. Right? I'm too afraid of the chalk. Have had it too many times. What can you do? Don't throw the chalk at people. Don't laugh at their ideas. That's what we're afraid of. Say, interesting. How did you come up with that? Share your thinking with me. All right? Because for every stupid comment that somebody makes, I guarantee they'll come up with something brilliant every now and again. I invite you to stretch yourself out of your comfort zone this afternoon. Might be emotionally, I doubt it'll be physically, but extend yourself. Welcome yourself to other people. Reach out to them and get to know them. We're not asking you to cheat death. Stretch out of your comfort zone. And all of this applies into the weeks that are to come and the months, stretching yourself all the time. Oliver Wendell Holmes said, a heart and mind that's been stretched by a challenging experience can never go back to its old dimension. And that responsibility is largely up to you to offer yourself challenging experiences, push yourself a little bit, stretch out of your comfort zone all the time, and 6 months from now, you will have such a repertoire that will look like child's play what you did beforehand.